I'm gonna try this one more time. I keep trying to record this video and people keep walking up in my shit and everything. So I'm Jason. My daughter calls me the Vaping Viking. I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri at the Baptist Hospital with my uncle. So I wanted to get a bunch of interviews today because I had a doctor's appointment too. With just for my meds and stuff. I mean, they gave me permission, but I would ask them when I first would get into their office, and then by the time that it was over with, I just was ready to get out of there because it's a process. It's you gotta see nurses, doctors, everything. So I didn't get no interviews today. I did a couple, where I just asked them questions, and I talked to this one nurse about how they're talking about doing the flavor bans, and oh man, she was highly upset. She said, she don't know what she would do. She said that she smoked for 20 years, and she's been vaping for about a year now, and she said that if they were to do a ban, that she would probably end up smoking again, because nobody wants the tobacco flavored vape juice. It's terrible. So I asked a guy named Jesse. He's the intake counselor there. He said that when my very first appointment there, he had a black Prince sitting on his desk. So I asked him about it. He said that he quit vaping. He used it to quit smoking, and he slowly weaned himself off. He don't vape no more. But he said he's totally pro vape. He said because it did get him to quit smoking. He said his favorite flavor was like apple flavors. He liked apple flavors. And then I talked to Jennifer, and she's the one that flipped out. She said that if they stop vaping, do the flavor ban, she's going to be highly upset. She said that she smoked for almost 20 years. She's been vaping a little over a year now. She said that her favorite flavors are like lemon pound cake. She said there's one called crack cake that she really, really likes. And she said, pretty much all just, like cake flavors and pie flavors, meringues and stuff like that. She just loves them. She said, there are a few candy flavors she likes. And then it was funny, I was seeing my medical provider, the one that, issues my medicine for me. And I brought up vaping. I said, I don't remember what I said, but I looked on the nurse's desk in the office where I was at, and she had a little, like, colorful Novo, the little pod system on her desk. And, I said something about vaping. She's like, oh yeah, by the way, you can vape in here if you want. So, damn it, what the hell? I had my top side on me at the time. So, put out a big old cloud, and the provider's like, my son works at one of those shops, vape shops. She's like, he comes home with just the craziest looking things. And I held up my top side, and she's like, yeah, like that. Well, like I said, the nurse where I was at, she said, or she didn't say, she had a Novo sitting on her desk, and I held up my top side. I'm like, like this, and the lady's like, yeah, and she's like, or like this, and then she holds up hers, and at first I was just thinking she had her Novo in her hand, but then I looked in her hand, and she had a fucking Legend, a Rainbow Legend, with a Rainbow Falcon King tank on. I was like, damn. I'm like, you're packing a day. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Like every time I go in there, they all vape, man. All of them. And they let you vape in the office. It's cool as hell. You can be sitting in the waiting room, just puffing on your vape, and they don't say nothing. The only thing they say, is it better be vape juice, not, the THC. So, like I said, it's pretty cool. A couple other things. The other day, stopped in the vape shop, and I picked up some. Well, hold on, let me go back. I went to the vape shop a day or so ago, and I talked to the owner, and I was like, you know, uh, do you guys ever hire anybody? You know, I'm like, I seen you got that one kid in here, and he's like, well, he's like, you know, I pretty much work all the time. He's like, but you know, on the days, you know, I just take off or everything. He's like, I already got somebody that comes in and works. He's like, so. He's like, you know, but if you want to leave me your number, he's like, you know, if he don't work out, then he's like, I'll give you a call. So I was like, well, I don't think he's gonna work out. And anyways, because I had went in there and I told him, you know, I was like, I need 2 coils, and he's like, okay, what do you need them for? I'm like, well, I'm gonna put them in my V8 stick. And he's like, okay. Well, he starts like going through all the smart coils. I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't want a smart coil. And he's like, well, it's got a smart tank, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, then you need smart coils. I'm like, no. I'm like, I want a Geek Vape coil, the one that I pointed it out. I don't know if it's Aero Mesh or whatnot, but it's the one that fits in the Cerberus. And he kept telling me, he's like, no, you can't put a Geek Vape coil in a smart tank. I'm like, dude, yes, you can. I'm like, because I used to put, well, I didn't used to put, I had the Cerberus tank on my Nova, and I ran out of coils, and I remembered I had a V8 coil, so until I could get another Cerberus, Geek Vape coil, I stuck that in there just to get me by. And I was like, so yeah, it'll fit. He sat there and argued with me. He's like, no. He's like, I'm telling you what, you take this. He's like, you know, and it don't fit. He's like, if you pop it out of that foil, you can't bring it back. And I'm like, well, dude, whatever. I'm like, that's what I want. I'm like, I'm telling you what I want, so give it to me. I hate that shit. That pisses me off so bad. You know, I mean, I'm not a pro at all this shit, but I know my setups. You know, I know what they take. I know what I need. So he gave it to me. So that's what reason I brought that up was I remember when we had the Vape Wild group going. I see posts every once in a while. I don't see them as many, or I don't see as many now in the Vape Space group. But every once in a while I'll see one where somebody will be like, oh, I think I got a box of dud coils because they burn out after an hour or two. I've used, I don't know how many coils in my life, since I started vaping last year or so. I have never had a coil burn out in less than 2 weeks, never. And the ones that would burn out in less than 2 weeks, or in 2 weeks, were the U-Force coils, not the mesh coils, the wire ones. And anything that I've had burn out in like 3 weeks, that were mesh, were usually because I was using like lemon twist, really, really sweet juices. But never nothing less than 2 weeks. I was like, so I'm gonna do a little video and show how I prep my coils before I install them. Maybe it'll help somebody out down the road, So, the biggest issue is, getting them juiced up good enough, because, if you don't get it juiced up good enough and it don't get that juice in there, it is going to burn up quick. If it's, if it's kind of dry in there, it's going to burn. So, I'm going to do that, and then, hopefully, not today. I mean, I don't know. I have to track my packages, but hopefully today, my next mesh strips come in. So if those came in, then I'll be doing a little video on how to build a profile. I also got a squonk pin for a profile coming in, so I'm gonna do, hopefully in the same video, I'm gonna do how to change out a squonk pin. So yeah, I got a couple of videos coming to you here in the next day or so. What else? Oh, tomorrow night I got my first date in about 2 years, so that'll be interesting. I met a lady named Lady. That's her name, Lady. And we're gonna go out and maybe go to Starbucks tomorrow, have a cup of coffee, sit and chat and everything. So it's been it'll be the first date I've been on since I met my wife. So that'll be interesting. You know, I thought, you know, I was gonna hold out for my wife, and you know, because I just, you know, we're separated, but you know, I'm not gonna continue to hold out and wait on somebody that won't even give me the time of day to say 2 words to me. So I'm just gonna, you know, I guess I'll just move on. You know, it's the only thing I can do. And you know, this girl lady, you know, she laughs and she gets a kick out of my goofy sense of humor, and she don't tell me I'm childish like my wife used to all the time. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm gonna marry her or anything like that. You know, it's just a date. See how it goes. So she's a very pretty woman. You know, she little out of what I usually date. You know, she's a blonde. I usually date, you know, brunettes or redheads, but you know, seems like when I date brunettes or redheads, it don't work out. So maybe I'll, you know, maybe this one will be it. I'm hoping so. So yeah, that's what I got going on this week. So yeah, that's it. So like I said, go on this date tomorrow, see how it works out. You know, keep on saying, you know, I tried holding out for my wife, but you know, she like I said, she won't even answer a question. You know, I keep on asking her if, you know, should I sign for a divorce? You know, go sign up for a divorce, and she won't even. You know, I told her just say yes or just say no. You know, that's all you got to say, yes or no. That's all I'm asking for, and you know, she won't even give me that answer. Or you know, if she's doing it herself, you know, if she's going for a divorce, that's all she's got to say. Is, you know, yeah, I'm going for a divorce. I'm just trying to get out of her what the next chapter is going to look like, and she won't even give me a simple answer. So I'm gonna just move on, do me, and hope for the best. So I don't know. Hopefully everything goes okay. But yeah, next day or so, you guys will see a couple videos posted. I was thinking about you know, maybe doing a little, because I got shit tons of stories, just crazy stories of stuff that have happened to me and my buddies over the years. You know, just interesting, crazy little incidents and stories that happened. So I was thinking about maybe throwing in one of those like every video I do. You know, like I think when I do the profile, I'm gonna do the story of me rehabbing a gay bar. So, all right, well, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go up there and check on my uncle and see what the hell's going on. I'd like to go home here soon. Got my daughter coming home from school here in a few hours. All right, well, everybody, have a good day. Vape on.